Start recording. Stop recording. Button.
Hello everybody on YouTube, this is Nikki Wunderlich. We are joined by Hans Last.
Hello and welcome everybody.
We are going to give him a chance to tell a little bit about himself and how he's doing and his blindness story.
Okay, well, yes, I've always been visually impaired all my life, and I've had partial sight, fairly high partial in my left eye, and I've always been blind in my right eye. I've had cataract, and then eventually it was really bad and had glaucoma in it, and the eye was took out in 1993. And recently, about 2 years ago now, I started having where my vision in my good eye was going downhill. And I went about 2 years ago. I went to the eye doctor, and then early November I went, and they didn't really know what was going on. So I went back in January of 2018, where they found that my cornea was swelling up, and that I had something called keratoconus, which is the top layer of the cornea in a cone shape, and that's causing my vision to really be all blurry and everything looking really dark and everything like that. And so then I came back. Then I went last year to 2018 to some specialists, and they sent back and forth one to another, back and forth, and then they determined that the cataract had needed to come out. So that was done earlier this year in July.
Oh wow!
And it hasn't really done anything much. So the specialist here in town was a little upset because the specialist here wanted them to deal with the cornea first and then the cataract. But subsequently, ultimately, the doctors up there in Toronto, where it was, they said they decided to go ahead and deal with the cataract and then wait for the cornea for a later time. But now the doctor's having to deal with it here and just trying to get the inflammation down so that the cornea can be dealt with. And so that's my vision story as far as that goes.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and as for YouTube, I've been a YouTuber since the early days, in actually September 9th of 2005 when I first signed up for YouTube. So I've got I think I'm at 563 subscribers now and I'm probably about well over 500 videos on there now. A lot of them where I'm just general videos where I'm walking around places, riding buses, and the last few videos, it's apparent that I have the vision because I've got where I'm walking with my cane, and I think I've got a couple where I'm riding the bus. But the couple I'm using with my cane, there's the Audible Crossing that's just at the corner of where I'm living here in town. And fortunately, because it's an older part of town, but they just redid the street in this area. So of course, and they're putting in Audible Crossings now. It's in St. Catharines where I am, and they're gradually, when they're redoing all the intersections where there's lights, they're gradually putting the Audible Crossings in, and then they've also got the not just at the intersections there, they've got the bumps so you can tell where the edge of the sidewalks are on the streets, and so that's a little bit about me and my story about vision and my YouTube videos. So
that's very interesting. And your channel is Hans Last.
Yes, Hans Last, HANSLAST. I've kept it that way since the beginning. I've thought about I know some of the people have changed their names to something a little more catchy, but I've just kept it as my name because it's just very general, just like nothing really putting you on the end of your seat, or just but just kind of gradual every day, just casual whatever I'm doing, that kind of thing. I think one of the last ones I did was I'm just heating some burritos in the microwave, so just just that kind of things, like video blogging type stuff, just general day stuff. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. And so, of course, I remember you from back the Audio Boom days several years ago.
Yep.
And of course, that went out, and so I've tried dabbling. I've used Dabble some, but I don't know. I just haven't gone on there lately, just because there's just really nothing really worth going on there, and it's just because I'm a very quiet person that keep a lot to myself and don't talk much, and so that's why and then I always don't know what to say. Although I've met a few people on Dabble a few months ago, a couple of people that were that I really like and get along with, and I like one of them. I'm on a few WhatsApp groups with her, and so which is okay. But even there, I'm not. But even those groups are not really that active. Yeah. So anyone they're viewing, yeah, they can feel free to check out my channel if you haven't already. It's just Hans Last, and they can subscribe. And like I say, I'm at about 563 subscribers as of right now, and eventually growing. And my videos, I've got a lot of good videos on there, going all the way back to 2005, and I've got a lot of good comments on things. Where people because I've got one from, I think it's actually from a VHS tape that I took and converted onto a computer, where I'm at a mall, and it's from December of 1990, and I got a lot of good comments about that, because of course the mall is long since gone, been taken down, and people remembered from when they were there at their childhood. And there's another place that's there that because I've always liked the idea of taking picture and video of stuff just around me, and I've gotten pretty good feedback and comments on some of these videos that I've done, just because I leave them there, because some of them have been there for years, and some of the old vintage one goes from the VHS days, go even way back, and so some of these are before some of the viewers were even born. So it's pretty interesting, and I hope I can get back into doing some more video, especially if my site improves. Even if not, I'm going to try my best to do, because I just hold the camera, because I have, whether it's my phone or some other I got a little handheld flip video camera, which is actually a little smaller than an iPhone, and you just hold it straight up. And if I just hold it straight up in front of my face, straight up and down, I can't see what I'm videotaping, but I'm just guessing and hope I'm getting what I want. And so that's the best way I know. That's how I do my videos right now. And before I could see, and then I could put a few clips together with the it's called the Flip Video. That's the other camera that I I still have it, but I've got the software, but because that does not work well with speech, I can't do that. So I can just do single clips and then just copy them directly from the folder and upload them directly to YouTube that way. I think I've done one video where I just walk around my apartment. I did that on my phone, and I sent the video up through YouTube through the I think I did it through the app, and then just did it that way. But the rest of them I'm still uploading on the desktop PC in the Firefox browser, and that seems to work okay, because I use NVDA for my screen reader, and so I'm still good there.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of my videos, I use my iPhone or my iPod Touch.
Oh, yes. Now, I know most of your videos have just been talking and stuff like that. Do you have enough vision that you can see where you've actually gone around, like you'd be outside somewhere taking video of something? Or
yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
I have a few videos like that.
Oh, well,
they're
good.
They're more towards the beginning of my channel, though.
Yeah. Actually, if you're interested in knowing the first one or two videos on my channel back from, I think it was, I don't know when it was. Like I say, I signed up on the 9th of September in 2005, and I put some video, because I had an old, actually a digital camera, and where it would just take pictures, but you could do short video clips, and that was a Canon PowerShot A100, and it would do like just video only, no sound. And so I put a couple videos on that, just on that, and just put the clips together in Windows Movie Maker, and would just describe what I'm seeing. Of course, there's no sound; it would just be me talking. But I've actually done that. So that was good. And then I got a few like that, and then I start moving up from there with an old video camera, and just different cheap little cameras so I've built up from there. So there's a lot of good, a lot of videos on my channel.
I don't have too many videos on my channel.
No. I know I think it was because it's too bad you can't do live streaming with, because I know on the YouTube app there's on the phone and what iPads you can do. It's supposed to let you do live stream, but I know a couple of you said that you can't do live stream unless you have over 1,000 subscribers or something
Right.
like that. Yeah. I didn't know because I never tried it, but I've used, I think on Facebook Live, I've done a couple of those. Periscope, I've done that too, where you can, of course, do video too, because that's always been my thing, just documenting life, just recording life as it is, as it happens. I don't believe in all the staging where you gotta, okay, you're off, you got a wrinkle on your sleeve or something like that, got to straighten that out. I just like to record things as they happen, and
Right.
like with editing and stuff, and I just take off the beginning and the end of the clips, and just like, where there's jerking around or something like that, or if I don't want a whole clip, because that's the nice thing about editing, you can just put parts of clips that you want, and so it's really good. It's I really like to do that. I hope I can get back into that. I know there's quite a few blind people on there now, and some of them
Explore video effects.
Quite a bit of editing, and I'd like to, because I think it's the iMovie on the iPhone. I guess because it works so well with VoiceOver, I've actually thought about playing with it, see if I could just edit clips that way, and I don't know if you can actually trim clips with iMovie with the VoiceOver or not. That's something I'd have to play with sometime.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So we're recording this now, and then I'll upload it to YouTube.
Okay, yes. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, it didn't matter, even if we were not able to use StreamYard, at least, the point is, as long as the people can hear me on the video, that should work okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because you've done it before. I know, yourself, and I think you have to. I think you can, because that's a nice thing. Even with FaceTime, I know it's not as good as StreamYard, but you can still get. Excuse me. You can get a few people on with you, because I know when you were doing it with Thomas and a few other people, I think there were a few of you on, and then I think you've had some with your fiance Mike and a few other people as well, which worked out really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how many subscribers are you at on your channel now?
Like 50 something.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to get more, but right now I'm not uploading as much as I'd like, because
Hans last.
life is kind of
I know you've been kind of busy.
Accept request to share video.
Then you got your son about doing intake, son about doing stuff.
Yeah.
Tap to take a snapshot.
So, what I do, what I find what helps them, I don't know, because I've always done on the desktop, I always put tags in my videos, I can start with, if I'm walking, I'll put walking, and then the name of the town, and then I'll put Cane Travel, and just different things, because you can do these
exit full screen
hashtags on Twitter and Instagram, where you actually do the number sign. You just type in the word, and then I don't know how it does it in the app or not, if you can easily do hashtags in the app, because that's the thing, you don't have to put the number sign in front of it, you just type the word, and even if there's spaces, if it's two words, I've done a few tags where I just put right in that tag line YouTuber, so people can search, because that's how people find the videos, through random searches, and then if they get a video of them, and that's the thing, I know there's some certain people, if they name all their videos the same thing just by the date, and they don't really put a name with it, and then it's a lot harder to find it, whereas if you actually put something even in the title or something like that, and that's why hashtags, because that helps bring people in too, and then they like it, and then they subscribe and get notified, and so that helps boost the subscribers.
I always name my videos.
Yes, yeah. And another thing I try to avoid too is a lot of redundancy, doing the same thing. If I don't think I don't really see what the point is of doing half hour of blowing leaves or cutting grass or something like
right.
that kind of stuff. And so just this half hour the same thing, and then redundancy after being that gets a little bit redundant, and then people think, I don't want to watch this, and so they go on, and so I try to, like, you know, like if I'm on a bus or something like that, I'll just ride like 10. Like, most of my videos are not really that long. I've got a few for like maybe 30 seconds to maybe the longest one is maybe 15 minutes, because back when I first started on YouTube, they only allowed, I think it was only, you were only allowed 10 minutes. And then some people that were more active actually put it up to 15 minutes. And I think now in the meantime, over the years, they've upped, I think it's now unlimited, because I've seen people do like an hour, 45 minutes, that kind of thing. So
Wow.
They must have removed the time restriction. And there's nothing said about it when you upload it either, so there must not be a time restriction now.
Right.
Yeah. So anything else you want to know or want me to tell you about, or?
I can't think of any. Oh, do you have any advice for anybody who's either just got their first cane or who is thinking about getting their first cane?
Well, I can say that it's very helpful. Like I learned cane travel when I went to the blind school years ago, and of course I never used a cane. When I did use it for the longest time, I was just holding on to it, so just more ID purposes. But then I got to where I would just stop using my cane, but then of course when my sight started going bad, at first I tried to do without the best I could, but then I knew that I would have to use a cane, so I started with
Notification. Fuck.
probably for January, when my vision. You just use it, and it helps out a lot. It's still not perfect, but like it keeps you from bumping into stuff, and even though like I can just barely see light and dark, like it